Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. In today's video, we're creating some boho inspired DIY projects from Dollar Tree. At this point, I go there about once a month and I try to come up with new projects to show you guys. And this time around, I'm really proud of the projects that we came up with. I think you guys are really gonna like these. Hopefully you guys can find these items at your local Dollar Tree as well, but if not, you can always use this as inspo to create your own projects for your home. Before we jump in, I also wanted to mention that we are super close to 75,000 subscribers. We might hit it as this video goes live, so I just want to say in advance, thank you guys all so much. I will be hosting a giveaway for this, so make sure that you stay tuned for the following videos so you can enter into that. But without further ado, let's jump into the first project. Hello from VoiceOver Tina. So I found this cloud mirror at Dollar Tree and it's already pretty cute as is, but we're gonna give it a little bit of a makeover, and luckily you can take this mirror apart very easily. It's built just like a frame, so I took apart the backing, the cardboard spacer, and then the mirror, and I'm just gonna place that aside to work on the frame. First, I'm adding some raffia along the inner rim of the frame with some hot glue, and this is just gonna hide some of the white on the frame before we move on to the next step. I glued it section by section until I went around the entire frame and then just met it back at the bottom. And I basically repeated this process with the outermost rim of the frame, and I also made sure that this met at the bottom so both pieces matched. And of course, whenever you're working with a thinner material, make sure that you use some type of finger protector. I really love these pink ones. You can also find these at Dollar Tree and they've been so helpful. So now there's going to be a little gap between the two pieces of raffia, and that's actually where I'm going to glue down my wooden beads. I think this adds such a fun element to the mirror, but it still looks very stylish and on trend. I had so many ideas for this mirror, including spray painting it or creating a marbled effect on it. There's seriously so many cool things that you can do with it. So if you have any ideas on what you would do with this Dollar Tree cloud mirror, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your ideas. After that, I'm basically going to cover the entire frame with the raffia, and I'm basically putting in the hot glue in the corners and the joints just to keep everything in place without going overboard with the hot glue, which can get pretty messy pretty quickly. This was quite a tedious process, but I think it gave the frame a really great color and texture upgrade, and it totally makes it look like a rattan piece. Alright, after the glue has dried, we're just going to screw in these little gold cup hooks, and I'm spacing them evenly along the bottom, and these are going to be perfect to use as little jewelry hooks, and I actually found these to be pretty easy to screw down into the plastic. So you'll see that I screwed one of the hooks in, but then I quickly realized that I should probably put my mirror back in at this point. But this time I'm actually going to glue the mirror into the frame. This way I don't need to worry about adding extra material to the back, and you basically can use the edge of the frame on the back side to hang it up. I added in the rest of my hooks and now my little cloud mirror was complete. This little mirror was already pretty cute, but I absolutely love the upgrade that we gave to it. It's now a great multifunctional piece of decor. It's super versatile to check yourself out in the mirror and to store your jewelry pieces. It's also a great piece to utilize your vertical space, and I think it looks super stylish too. For this next project, I'm starting with these little plastic bowls, and you can find them in a 4-pack. They are in the party section with the rest of the plasticware at Dollar Tree, and I really love the scalloped edge of the bowl, and I'm just going to use one of them for this DIY. I'm taking 6mm macrame cord, and we're just going to glue it right onto the outside of the bowl, and I'm starting with the top edge. To start, I'm following the curved edges and putting my glue and just placing the macrame right on top. Once we got to the next curve, I'm just going to glue it 1/3 of the way down. Then we're creating a little bit of a gap by bringing our macrame up into a little loop, and then I'm adding glue to the last third and pressing it down. The design on the bowl actually helped out a lot since it was already sectioned into thirds, so I just followed that as a guide, but you'll see that we'll have a little bit of a loop, and then I'm just going to repeat this across the entire top of the bowl. So I'm doing this in an alternating pattern, which works out pretty perfectly since there are 6 curved edges. And after that, I'm just going to wrap the entire bowl with the macrame, and I'm making sure that I follow along the wavy pattern that we just created. And as I was doing this, I made sure to hold on the macrame just to keep everything secured. Dollar Tree actually sells a cotton nautical rope, which is very similar to macrame cording, so if you don't have any, you can pick some up from there. But I already had so much macrame that I wanted to use, so I just stuck with what I already had at home. And since these bowls are small, this step went by pretty quickly. You can also do this same exact project with any other plastic bowls that you might have, or you can even pick out larger ones that are available at Dollar Tree. This size is perfect if you just want to plant your propagated babies after they rooted, but if you want to put a larger plant in there, definitely grab a larger bowl. Once I got towards the end on the bottom of the bowl, I went ahead and cut a small piece of macrame, and I split the strands and took 2 of those and folded it in half, and then I'm going to glue that to the center of the bottom. Once that was in place, I continued to glue the rest of the macrame cord down, and when we got to the end, I'm just going to snip it and tuck it into the center to make it look as seamless as possible. To keep it in place, I made sure to hold it down until the glue dried, and then I combed it out to create a little tassel. And I keep forgetting to grab a pet brush while at Dollar Tree because that totally would have made this easier, so I'm just using a comb that I already have, but next time I'm for sure gonna grab one. Alright, now to hang it, we're gonna string on some more macrame cording, and I took a 4mm piece and split it into 3 strands. I made sure the length was double of how long I wanted it to be because we're going to fold it in half and create a cow hitch knot right through the loops. So I just pulled the ends through and I repeated that to the other 2 loops. And this next part is optional, but I'm going to tape each end of the cords together to make it easier to string on my wooden beads. I added 3 to each one, and I think it adds so much more interest to the piece and just makes it look a little bit more boho as well. And the last thing we need to do is to knot the top, and our little hanging basket is done. I'm seriously so happy with how this piece came out. It's perfect for your trailing or your air plants, and like I mentioned, you can totally recreate this in any size bowl that you have. So if you want to put a larger plant in here, feel free to grab a larger bowl. I think it is just so cute, and I can't wait to go back and see what other bowls I can find to create even more plant hangers. Alright guys, so those were the DIYs for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are and which one was your favorite. I definitely would have to say that the cloud mirror is my favorite just because it looks so high-end. Wavy and curved furniture pieces are super in right now, so I feel like that is trendy but also still neutral, but also really fun. And of course, it's super functional, so I'm really happy with how that piece came out. If you recreate any of the projects from today's video, make sure that you tag me on Instagram. I post on there every single day, and I also love seeing your recreations. I will put a few on the screen here. You guys have been tagging me in so many items and I love seeing them, so definitely keep them coming so I continue to comment and like them. If you guys like this video, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for new videos every single week. I have an apartment refresh coming up after this, so that will be coming out on Sunday. I hope you guys are excited for it because I love redecorating my place and I have some new things coming up onto my walls and I can't wait to show you guys, so I hope you're ready to see that on Sunday, so stay tuned. So that's it for me today. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Stay inspired and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!